Hey everybody, Konadra here. Welcome back to Formula One 2018, continuing our Haas career, and it is apparently contract negotiation time again. It seems so soon, but then again we did kind of, quote-unquote, miss a race there, didn't we? Well,
Here we
let's
can adjust
see
the terms of our proposal. The
what
more
our
ambitiously
contract
we set our
negotiation goes
targets,
like today.
the more willing the team will be to give us better perks. We'll have a few chances to suggest a deal, but we need to be careful. If a proposed contract exceeds your value to the team, it will be rejected, and too many attempts will leave us stuck with the original offer.
Yeah. Okay, so the one they're giving us right now is level 2 race bonus, level 2 simultaneous development, level 1 upgrade speed, level 2 pit stop efficiency. I feel like our value is really high right now, and I feel like this contract that they've shown us is pretty weird. A qualifying position of 12th? When recently have we, barring Singapore, have we recently not been getting into Q3? It seems a little strange. Now, the expected race position of 7th, that's not crazy. We have the 4th fastest car on the grid right now. That would put us fighting for 7th and 8th place on a regular basis. So that's not crazy, but this it seems pretty crazy. So I'm going to bump that up to 7th as well, which should knock that contract value back down. And then I can knock it down even further if I did this. If I put a medium team goal on there. And then what I would want is at least level 2 here. And really what I want is this. Because we have got to make up for the problems of the rules change for next season. So we need as many resource points as we can get before the end of this season. Now, I would like to go full willy-nilly here and try for level 3 on those two fronts and see what that gets us. Now, if they just outright accepted this, I would be perfectly happy. I'm not really doing much more than 2 upgrades per department anyway, so that's not a huge deal. And the pit stop efficiency for the rest of our season isn't a huge deal either, and I feel like I can easily meet those goals. So let's see. Oh wait, I need to actually choose the right button. Propose that contract. Okay, I've
They aren't
overshot.
coming round to that proposal. Let's try something else.
Okay, so I've overshot by a little bit there. I could bring that down by trying a hard team goal, which would, if I don't meet that team goal, then I'm going to lose the resource points for completing it. So that's, a little bit of a problem. I really want these two. It's pretty important to me. This one I think is probably the least important of them. Major and minor upgrade time reduced by 1 week, or all upgrade time. Well, major and minor is basically what we've been doing. So let's just try that one right now. And let's try to stay with medium. And I just kind of want to see what that does for us. Let's actually also try let's try going for 6th place. Now that might be, I might have undershot now. We'll see. Ooh,
Okay,
that's nearly
that proposal
perfect.
looks good. It seems all parties are happy with the deal, so it'll commence at the next race weekend.
Good. Okay, so that means that we now have level 3 race bonus, level 2 on everything else. They're expecting us to qualify 6th and finish 6th, but we only have a medium team goal. I think that's doable. We might not finish 6th in every race, but on average we've been doing about that well. So I think we're good, and we're headed to a part of the season with some tracks that I feel pretty confident about. So yeah, that should be all well and good there. We're also getting close to our 3rd rivalry win versus Magnus in there. And other than that, I think...
You're being compared favorably against your teammate. Well done.
Thanks.
As long as you're in the same car, they'll always be your #1 rival, so it's important to keep this up.
Wow, so much encouragement today. So much encouragement. All right, well, I think we're probably good to go then. Let's move on to the next race weekend, where I don't actually know where we're going to be. Ah, Suzuka! Interesting. Okay, I'm excited now. I'm excited. I love Suzuka. It's also worth noting that we have resource points to spend to save some more of these upgrades, and we have now completely saved the chassis upgrades, which I think is critically important, but that also means I can go in and try and save some of these reliability, the durability upgrades as well. So I'm already able to save the general wear, and then the gearbox wear will be important as well. So hopefully after this race weekend we'll get most of this done and we can get back to working on the car. Certainly very frustrating to have to basically completely stall our development to save this season's development, but I'll be interested to see how this affects next season. I want to see teams that decided not to try and save their car's development for this season and go into next season with maybe a dive in their performance. They're shooting for the stars this season. Maybe your Ferrari team or the Mercedes team is so focused on developing the car this season to win this championship that at the start of next season they're going to be behind the 8 ball. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking forward to seeing, and I hope that maybe it works that way. Out on track to get acclimatized here with Suzuka. Again, seriously, one of my favorite tracks on the F1 calendar. I love racing here. I love that this track remains on the calendar. It's certainly an outlier, an oddball, but I really am glad that it stays, even though obviously there's some dark history here and some not great memories, but overall, certainly very wide in turn 1 and missed that gate, but certainly one of the most iconic tracks on the circuit, and one that I've always strived to do well at. Obviously, I'm not striving to do well at this track acclimatization program, which honestly doesn't surprise me that much. This is one of those tracks where I feel like I've developed my own groove and style of racing it. I've developed my own line, and it's very, very different from what the game is like trying to steer me towards. Even that. Look at the gates. I'm either purple or red. I think that's going to be the case, that I have plenty of pace. I'm just not doing it in the way that they're quite pleased with. Oh, there was a green one. Oh, I thought I missed that one. Another thing is that we are on the medium compound tire for this. Unfortunately, I almost guarantee we have to run this medium compound in the race, but I do not care for it at all. I would much prefer to be on the softer compounds. For whatever reason, this car just doesn't, or maybe just me, there's not a general agreement between us with the harder compounds. Thank you for the information, Jeff. Always helpful. Got it slowed down better for turn 1 this time. Get my groove back on. Gotta remember that these tires aren't going to have as much grip as I would like. That was a green one, but that's better than red. Kind of stab the brake mid-turn there to get it to rotate that little tiny bit more than it wants. We're on a good run of purples now. Hopefully we can have a perfect score for this. Getting resource points is so very critical for this part of the season. Put a lot of pressure onto these programs. Nice. Yeah, this should be... We've had such a good streak of purples now that this should be good enough. Well, he says that and then he misses the gate completely. Can we do it? Can we manage to get enough points even though we missed a gate? I am not sure. I'll be happy to move on from this one though and start dialing in my own line and groove around the place. Alright. Try and have all purples at the end here. Is that enough? Hey, perfect amount.
You obviously have a really good understanding of this circuit.
And we had low fuel, apparently. Okay. All is well. So here's a little snippet of opinions of track design from me. The things that make the turns here so great isn't the turns themselves. It's everything that leads up to them. It's the entrance to the turns. It's the whole sector combined. So when modern track designers try and make a track and they go, boy, I really love this turn from Suzuka. I'm gonna put that turn in my track and it's gonna be just as good. It just doesn't work that way. It's everything else on the track that made that turn good. It's even the scenery around it. You know, it's the things that you use to pinpoint where your apex is and whatnot that dictate why a turn is good or bad, or just more enjoyable than others. So when these modern tracks are made and they try to replicate... was that the right word? Replicate? When they try to replicate a turn, like Spoon Curves, on a modern track, it's usually missing everything leading up to that. It's usually missing the scenery, or even the elevation. And that's why it just comes off as half-assed, and it doesn't end up being a good track, because it's just a jumbled mess of a bunch of other turns that they don't flow together. Whoa! Fuck!
Are you alright? Engine off, engine off.
That's staying in. That caught me by so much surprise. I know I was close to the wall, but I caught just a little bit of wheel spin out of there and bam!
Welcome to the only figure of 8 track on the F1 calendar. We're here at Suzuka for qualifying today ahead of the Japanese Grand Prix.
Yes, indeed.
We don't need to push too hard in this session. We should have the pace to qualify easily.
Yes, indeed. It is always something to keep in mind here for Japan, the weather that is. It can change very quickly, and it's pretty frequently a rainy race. And we'll have to watch for rain in qualifying. I honestly do think we should have zero problems getting through Q1 here. There is a very large bump there. I don't know if they went in and like enhanced that this season or what, but man, it is rough. It is rough off of that final turn. I think that might be one of the biggest bumps I've ever noticed on a Formula 1 track, at least in the video games. I really wish I could walk you through a lap of Suzuka here, because, I mean, I do like the place so much, and obviously, you know, I'm doing decently well at it here this race weekend, but there's no track, I think, on the F1 calendar that you drive by feel more than this one. Like, there's some markers. There's that red sign to the right there that I'm using for the brake point here. There's the fact that you track out to the curb on the exit of this. I don't even know the names of all the turns here. Please don't kill me. But most of it is just truly based by feel. Even though there's braking points down here, most of it happens when you turn in, and you just kind of have to see how the car responds. You get into the middle of the turn and you're like, okay, I'm only like 80% near spinning out right now, so there's this much left into it. There's points here where, you know, you aim for curbs and whatnot, but most of it is just cause and effect. You let the car do something, and then you judge the effects of it.
Good job.
Especially turn 1. Like, that is so much based on just feeling the tire load and feeling the suspension load into there, and judging how much further you can push it, because it's not like a stop and go track. You don't brake at a certain point, turn in at a certain point, and then complete the turn. You're turning in, you're on the brakes, you're downshifting, you're skating through there. Let's Ferrari go. There it goes. You're just skating through there and seeing how it all plays out. It's very strange, and I don't know how to properly illustrate that for a viewer, unfortunately. Interesting there that we did a time very similar to practice, and we are not on top right now. I'm honestly happy about that, because I was worried that the AI were going to be too slow here, but it looks like we will have a fight on our hands today, and we'll take that fight to Q2. I do believe it's shaping up to be a good day for us here in qualifying P3 and P6 in Q1. We move on to Q2 and see how we can manage to keep Magnussen in the top 10 here. But it looks like we're going to be in pretty decent shape. He's pretty far above the rest of the mid-pack. Alright, looks like we're still dry. I kind of want to look at the weather just to see what the deal is. I'll have to let this scroll through for a minute. So we'll lose a little bit of time here. Just a little bit of time. There it goes. There it goes. Still cloudy. So that should be alright. It looks like it'll be primarily just a cloudy qualifying. And then the race looks primarily cloudy as well. No drama there. Let's go to the track and put in Q2 lap. It didn't rhyme. I thought it was going to rhyme. Didn't rhyme. This is why I drive cars. This is why I drive virtual cars. I do not do virtual songwriting. And off we go. Right. Car's a little skaty through there when the tires are still cold, but once they warm up, they're really fine. Watch the bump. Alright, there it is. With the DRS. I'm going to try to not overdrive turn 1. I felt like I did overdrive turn 1 a little bit on my Q1 lap. Fight the car down to the inside there. Try and stay off the curb right there. Oh, that was a really nice run. See how I'm playing between gears? It's all about being in the right gear to keep the differential load right. That load on the rear tires is very critical to how the car squirms through the S's. Breaking that. Red mark. A little bit of lockup, not a big deal. There's a billion different ways you can take that turn and still get the same time, basically. It may have given us a little bit less of a run down the straightaway, or this curve away. Kind of shifting aggressively on the downshifts to have a good run. Get out of the grass, you fool. Time's looking good so far. I still do think there's some more left in it. There's certainly some places on track that I felt like I wasn't quite getting everything out of the car. We still have battery power. A 129.4. Jesus! Who put rocket boosters on this car? Like, this thing... That was nowhere near a perfect lap, and that was flying. I could even take fuel out of the thing too if I really wanted. Boy, we got a strong car for this race. I was a bit worried. It seemed like Magnussen only got one run in that session, and it seems like a problem, something in the game right now, that the AI are not calculating their runs properly, and they go out and they do their first run that's kind of slow, just, a bit at a time, and then they don't make another run. They don't have enough time to make another run. So unfortunately, Magnussen has been knocked out. He'll be starting 13th in the race. Nobody got near our time, though, in Q2, which was, real fast. Real fast. Alright, everybody, let's see if we can mirror that Q2 time here in Q3, and if we can, we might be in very, very good shape. I kind of wish I had done a Q2 lap on softs at this point, but I don't know that we need to. I don't know that we need to. I don't know that we need to do trickery in the strategy right now. Maybe we just play the normal strategy and see where it ends up. Wow. Lost the nose really badly there. This will not be the lap. I don't entirely know what happened there. It just never turned in on me. Or for me. Huh. Well, luckily we do have extra sets of tires to use for this session because we're gonna need them. If we're gonna qualify with anything near the time that we have been qualifying with, we're gonna have to try again. The right foot lap has felt fine. I guess I just overdid it a little bit. Oh, really struggling with the front end grip there as well. I wonder if the track has cooled or something is different. Because it certainly just does not feel like it has the same level of grip right now. See, it's pretty far off the pace. Kind of curious what the other cars' times were at this point. A 130.4 for Vettel is not incredible either, but that was real bad for us. A 131.2. Not my best turn one here to begin. Our last qualifying attempt. I am definitely missing some front end grip or something, but I'm gonna try and push through it. See what we can do for our Q3 lap here. Certainly better in Sector 1, but it was not great. So I want to be real aggressive to try and make up for that, I think. There's some areas on track that I have been leaving some time, so we may have a little left in the bank to try and make up for the lack of grip in Sector 1 right now. This will be it. Qualifying is complete. We're a second up right now, which would put us at a 30.2. But we're still trending upwards, so there's maybe a little bit left in it. We got a purple Sector 2. Just don't throw it away in Sector 3 here. A 29.5 from Vettel. I think that's going to be enough to beat us. It looks like it. That time lost in Sector 1 could not be brought back. Fourth! Boy, that's pretty disappointing after earlier
Grid is all
success.
set then for the race tomorrow. But before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top three, who are Vettel, Hamilton and Max Verstappen. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
I'm real pleased with the car's pace, and I thought I drove really, really well in Q1 and Q2, but I threw it away in Q3. I don't know what was going on. Weather differences, track differences, I'm not sure. Something was not working right for me in Q3. We will not be disappointed, though, with a fourth place starting position, and I'm looking forward to a good race tomorrow here in Suzuka, Japan. It's going to be another cloudy day, so hopefully we're not fighting that same front-end grip issue. Not sure what to expect from that. But we're really easy on tires here as well, so we might still have a pretty good chance in the race. We'll see. The 29.5 was the absolute maximum I think we could have gotten out of the car. We did outdrive Danny Rick today, so we got those points. And we're doing really good on resource points. I kind of want to look at that.
Very solid results.
Very
You're
solid.
looking good for the race.
It was not a liquid result. I wanted to look at the R&D tree. We have 926 points after practice and qualifying. So with our price reductions and whatnot, we're talking like 239 points to get this back. We're talking 360, that one back. We'll have this stuff done in no time. No time at all. Alright, we'll do that one. And that brings us down to 129. We might have enough to bring back one more by the race weekend. But yeah, we should be just about done with saving all of our parts for next season. Alright, everybody. Thank you as always for watching. I will see you tomorrow for the race.